Welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. So now we will discuss very important topic, that is the exception of the octet rule, and along with that we will discuss the ionic bonding. Now there are very useful information regarding the exception is there given to you, and that is what? That is the odd electron species like NO, NO2, O2. It is impossible to distribute an odd, it should be ClO2. It is not O2, it is ClO2. So odd electron molecules like NO, NO2, ClO2, it is impossible to distribute an odd number of electron into pair. Why? Because these species violates what? Violates the octet rule. The valence bond theory handles such species rather well. The molecular orbital theory copes much more better than that. So what we will observe that octet rule does not have a much of explanation for the stability of NO, NO2 and ClO2 molecule, but the molecular orbital theory have the answer to these. Similarly, the species in which the central atom expand its octet like PCl5, SF6, sulfate anion, like that, many transition metals also are able to expand its octet. Octet rule does not able to explain that also. Similarly, electron deficient species like BCl3, BeCl2, AlCl3, B2H6, in which the central atom does not have a complete octet, does have fewer number of electron than the 8 electron, but all these species still present, and octet rule does not have a explanation to that. Now AlCl3 is very interesting topic. Example of AlCl3 is very interesting. In gas phase it is electron deficient. In solid phase it exists as a dimer and it does have a complete octet. Okay, but in aqueous medium it exists as what? Or in AlCl6 form, like water 6, it shows expansion octet rule. So I am repeating once more. AlCl3 in gaseous phase is electron deficient. Solid Al2Cl3 is electron precise, while in case of aqueous AlCl3 you have expansion of octet. So this is what I am trying to say here. Now first we will take into account when the central atom does not have a complete octet. Now in such compound the number of electrons surrounding the central atom is less than 8. This is the special case in case of element having less than 4 valence electrons like lithium, beryllium and boron. Along with that, AlCl3 and BF3 also one excellent example. Okay, here what can you see? In case of lithium chloride, you can say octet of lithium is not complete. In beryllium hydride also, in BCl3 also, in BF3 also. If you can easily see that, what can happen in BF3? You have what? You have a structure like that, in which fluorine has the complete octet. but boron does not have the complete octet. Similarly, odd electron molecule, in the molecule with odd number electron like nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide, the octet rule is not satisfied. Okay, octet of oxygen is okay, but octet of nitrogen is not complete. That is very, very important. Similarly, in case of what? In case of NO2 also, what happens? Only one electron on this nitrogen. So oxygen has complete octet, both the atoms. But nitrogen does not have a complete octet. Sorry. If you observe that here, what can happen? This is NO2. So in NO2, what are you observing? This oxygen has its octet complete. This oxygen has its octet complete, but nitrogen does not have its octet complete. So in order to complete its octet, NO2 exists as dimer, that is N2O4. Remember that. Look at that now. Nitrogen has what? Nitrogen has, so second nitrogen atom will come. This will form a bond. And what you will have? You will have formation of so you can easily see that here octet of all the atoms now complete. See, plus, plus, negative, negative. This is N2O4 dimer. Remember that NO2 has color also, it is brown colored gas. The brown color is due to what? Odd electron. Remember that. Okay. Remember that in NO2 the color of the gas is brown due to the unpaired electron. But in case of N2O4 the gas is colorless. Remember that N2O4 is dimer of NO2 and it is a colorless gas. Why? Because no electron is now unpaired. Sure, but octet of all the atom is now complete. All the nitrogen, all the oxygen, they have complete octet. Sure now? Now you will take an example of what? An expanded octet. Now what is in this case? The element in and beyond third period of the periodic table have, apart from 3s and 3p, also have availability of d orbital. ठीक है, 3d orbitals are also available. 3d orbitals are also available for bonding. So what can happen? S has 2 electron, P has 6, so octet, but D has 10, so you can expand the octet. In the number of compound of these elements, there is more number of 8 electron around the central atom. Remember that aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, they are able to, all of them are able to expand their octet. They can expand their octet. They can expand their octet due to what? Due to availability of d orbital. These are third period elements: aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. All of them can expand their octet because they have availability of d orbitals. Remember that. Okay. PF6 is, PF5 is known, SF6 is known, PCl3 is known, PCl5 is known. Okay, PCl6 negative is also known. Okay, now here you can see that in case of PF5 there are 10 electrons around phosphorus. 1 2, you can say there are 5 bond. So 5 bond pair means each bond pair has 1 electron. In SF6 there are 12 electrons around sulfur. Here also in case of sulfuric acid, sulfur has how many? Sulfur has 6 bond pair around, so 12 electron around itself. Not only in sulfur, you can say in sulfur trioxide also. Now look at that sulfur trioxide. This is sulfur trioxide. In sulfur trioxide also there are what? There is 12 electrons around sulfur. You getting that or not? So sulfuric acid, SF6, PF5, PCl5, PCl6 negative, SO3, SF6. So all of them have what? All of them have expansion of octet. Why? I am repeating once more. All the elements of group third period onward. Third period onward, except sodium and magnesium, you can say all of them, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, they have the availability of d orbital, so they expand their octet if required. Now others drawback of the octet rule. It is clear that octet rule is based upon the chemical inertness of the noble gas. However, some noble gases, example are xenon and krypton, XeF2, KrF2, XeOF2, etc. This theory does not confirm the shape of the molecule. Now in XeF2 you can see that octet is incomplete. Okay, so how would you account that? Why this compound is formed? And also xenon has already complete octet, then why it is forming the compound? The theory does not account for the shape of the molecule. Okay, why the molecules have different shapes, why they have different geometry, no word has been explained in case of octet rule. It does not explain the relative stability of the molecule being totally silent about the energy of the molecules. That why different molecules have different shapes, why they have at different temperature they will able to transform into different structures. So about their energy level, about their shape, about their distortion, about all those things, the theory remains but silent. That's why these are the drawbacks. Okay, most importantly, that chemical inertness of noble gas is there. Okay, but here you can see that xenon is able to form so many compounds. Not only this, I think you may know that XeO3, XeO4, XeF4, XeF6, XeO2F2, XeOF4, all these compound of xenons are very well known compounds now. So why these compounds occur, the theory is silent on all of these. Now especially in case of boron and aluminium, what you have, that in case of boron and aluminium, I told you already that in case of boron, what happens? In case of boron, octet is incomplete. Okay, similarly in case of BCl3, octet is incomplete. So that's why sometime what happens, one of the molecule that is known as, like nitrogen has presence of lone pair, it may accept a lone pair from the compound to complete octet. So what happens in this case? Ammonia donates its lone pair to boron, and boron is able to transform into a compound having the complete octet. So that may happen. Now look at once more. In case of NO, what happens in case of NO? Nitrogen has only what? Nitrogen has only 5 valence electron. Oxygen has only what? 6 electrons. So total 11 electrons are there. So with 11 electrons, how the bonding can be what? How the bonding can be described? So octet of nitrogen is incomplete. So octet of nitrogen is what? Incomplete in this case. So like this one, what happens? You have to what? You have to here, and NO2 may exist as NO plus also. That electron will be lost also. So that can be also possible. So these are simple things you have to memorize. Are you sure about that? So you can also say this this is a type of free radical also. Okay, that it is, that's why NO also exists as a dimer. Remember that. NO also exists as what? NO also exists as a dimer. That is the case why it exists as. Okay, sure about that or not? So these are various things you have to keep in your mind. Are you okay with that? So NO what? NO can exist as a dimer also. Similarly in case of what? Similarly in case of NO2 again, nitrogen has how many? Nitrogen has 5 valence electron. Nitrogen has 5 electron, 2 oxygen of atoms, so 2 into 6, so 17. So 17 again, what you have? You have odd number of electrons. That's why you have to NO2 may accept an electron to give you what? NO2 negative also. Sure about that or not? So here what happens? Here you can easily see that octet of oxygen is complete. Okay, octet of, this is the octet of oxygen. This is the octet of oxygen complete. But octet of nitrogen is incomplete. That's why nitrogen has only what? Nitrogen has only 7 electrons around itself. So this is also a case of what? Electron deficiency. I already told you that NO2 will dimerize to stabilize itself. Okay, it dimerizes to stabilize itself. I already given you the example. Now we already discussed that in case of BF3, the bonding is relatively simple to model with the Lewis structure, as we allow each valence electron in the boron atom to share an covalent bond with each fluorine atom. Boron atom has only 6 electrons around itself, so octet rule is not satisfied, but in fluorine the octet rule is satisfied. Look at that. Around fluorine there is 8 electrons are there. Around this fluorine also 8 electrons are there. Around this also 8 electrons are there. But around boron only what? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 bond pairs are there. So 3 bond pair comprise of how many? 6 electrons. In many cases it has been observed that it is given that boron has deficiency of electron, so a back bonding is able to be formed like that. Lone pair of fluorine goes to the vacant 2p orbital of boron. So what does happen here? It now give rise to one more question. If it happens like that, then boron will got a positive charge of +1 and fluorine will get a negative charge of -1. So that will be against the electronegativity rule also. So that happens, but immediately it comes back. And it has been also been assumed that since fluorine and boron both belongs to 2p sublevels, so the overlapping between the fluorine and boron is most effective in comparison to any other halogens. Means other halogens are chlorine, bromine, they are bit large in size, their orbital sizes are very large. But in case of fluorine and in case of boron, both filled 2p orbitals and empty 2p orbital of boron both are of the same size and shape, and due to that overlapping is one more controversy. What is that? How does boron get a charge of +1 and halogen will get a charge of +1 and boron will get a charge of -1? So what happens? So if it happens like that, then fluorine will carry a charge of formal charge of +1 and boron will carry a formal charge of -1. Are you sure about that? Very much sure. Now if you look at that, now in this case AlCl3 has only 6 electron on itself and chlorine has what? So aluminium shows electron deficiency. It has 6 electron and all has bond pair, all are bond pair 1, 2, 3. So one bond pair has how many? One bond pair has how many electrons? It has 2 electrons. Chlorine has, all the 3 chlorine have complete octet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but aluminium is electron deficient. But when aluminium forms a dimer, okay, what will happen in aluminium form a dimer? Now chlorine will, what happens in this case? In this case, how it happens, I will show you. Now in both the cases, what happens? Chlorine has this type of structure. So what happens? That two molecule of AlCl3 come close together, and what happens? Lone pair of the first molecule will give its lone pair to the aluminium second molecule, and similarly what will happen? The lone pair on chlorine in the first molecule goes to the second molecule, like that. So now what will happen? Due to the donation of lone pair from chlorine to aluminium, their octet get completed. Now all the aluminium will have what? All the aluminium atom have complete octet. Okay, you can see here now easily 1, 2, 3, 4. Aluminium has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond around itself. Similarly, this aluminium also 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond around itself. So aluminium now in both the cases, okay, will have complete octet. So both the molecules are able to complete octet by forming the dimer. But here in this case, okay, here also you can say, okay, the arrow goes from one chlorine to the other molecules aluminium. Here also chlorine will go from what? From one molecule of lone pair goes from one molecule to the other molecules. Now when you will study organic chemistry, one very interesting example you will see is that our alkyl halide will give its halogen to AlCl3, and AlCl3 is known as halogen carrier. It is known as halogen carrier. What will happen? That in case of alkyl halide, one of the chlorine there will give its lone pair to aluminium, and becomes AlCl4. Now here you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4. Aluminium got complete octet in AlCl4. So aluminium has a very interesting example. What is that example? That aluminium can show electron deficiency in AlCl3, and aluminium shows complete octet in what? Complete octet in AlCl4 negative. Similarly, here can you see what? Phosphorus has one lone pair here and 1, 2, 3, 3 bond pairs. So one lone pair and 3 bond pair. Phosphorus has complete octet, all 8 electrons around itself. So here in PCl3, what happens? In PCl3, phosphorus is able to show what? Complete octet. Okay. In case of PCl4 plus, what is PCl4 plus? Okay, PCl5 exists as a solid, PCl4 plus and PCl6 minus, PCl3 and PCl, so it exists as dimer PCl4, PCl6 negative. Now in this case also, phosphorus has how many? Phosphorus has 4 bond pair. In this case there are 4 bond pair, but in this case phosphorus carry charge of +1. Sure about that? So remember that PCl5 exists as a dimer in solid state as P2Cl10, but actually that P2Cl10 is actually a ionic compound of PCl4 plus and PCl6 negative. Okay, PCl4 plus show what? PCl4 plus show you electron precise structure, but PCl6 negative shows you expansion of octet rule. You can see here also phosphorus has what? 10 electron around itself. So it is an example of expansion of octet rule. Why? Because phosphorus has availability of d orbital, so it can expand its octet. Here also you have PCl6 negative. What happens in PCl6 negative? In case of PCl6 negative, phosphorus has 12 electron around itself. 12 electrons around itself. Are you sure about that? Clear? So in PCl3, so it is 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. In PCl4 plus there are 4 bond pair. In PCl5 it got 5 bond pair, and in PCl6 it got 6 bond pair. So you can easily see that phosphorus can show 3 bond pair, 4 bond pair, 5 bond pair, 6 bond pair around itself. Okay, so from electron so precise to excess of electron it can show by using its d orbitals. So phosphorus can expand octet by using the d orbital. Similarly in case of what? Similarly in case of AlCl6 3 negative, aluminium has how much? Aluminium has 12 electrons around itself. Okay, sure. So here in this case also aluminium is using its d orbitals to expand its octet. Aluminium is using its d orbital to expand the octet. I am repeating once more. AlCl3 electron deficient, AlCl4 negative electron precise, AlCl6 3 negative, that is expansion of octet rule. So all 3 cases 1, 2, 3, electron deficient, electron precise and electron excess, aluminium can exhibit all 3 types of cases. Here also sulfur you have SF6, so there are 12 electrons around sulfur. Are you sure about that? Okay. Here also in SO3 what you are saying, we are seeing that there are 12 electrons around sulfur. So here also you can see what expansion of the octet rule, expansion of the octet rule.